Hey everybody, how you doing today? So we're going to be going over Big Time. During the break, I did start to play this game a lot more thanks to Bulldog inviting me to it. Now, I just recently invested a tiny bitty money into it, and I finally found some friends to play the game with. So we're going to go over my thoughts on this and whether or not maybe you should look into getting an invite code. Now, how can you get into the game? Unfortunately, as I'm not somebody Big Time knows, I don't have a lot of invite codes. I can't give them to you. The easiest way to get into this game, if you want to play it during the preseason, is to go to Twitch. There is always streamers there. Typically, if you ask for a code, they will give you a code. That's the easiest way to find one. Now, why should you play Big Time? Well, in my mind, this is one of the first crypto games out there that has come out and is legitimately a game. I'm not going to play the game for you. I'm going to just show you. See, I logged in. I'm kind of the warrior healing class called a quantum fixer. This is the class I would suggest you go with if you don't want to um, if you want an easier go of it. It is the healer class of the game, but it's also a fighting class in the game. It's just not as robust, but you can do pretty well with this. The other class I suggest you would do would be the actual Time Warden. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the combat really quick and just let you know that as I'm progressing through this game, I am going to be starting to cover it more. I even may start to go on Twitch. See, here's some of the spiders. So they have a little 4 combo that I just did, or you can do a 3 move combo and do a different finishing move. You can do a 2 move combo. You can also just use a quick dash attack with your right click. But that's the basics of all the weapons. You'll see the weapons are similar. If I go to a sword, same thing, 4-hit combo, but the timings are different. You can time them with when the sword glows, or you can time them with the screen. Those are the two things you can try to do. When you're in the game, you have 2 separate inventories. This is your NFT inventory. The only NFTs I own are a couple hourglasses. These have allowed me to earn a few tokens, and we'll go over that a little bit later. I don't want to actually equip that right now, so let me just escape that. We'll go back into here though, and then you can get all these different NFT pieces. I have not found any yet. I've played the game up to level 33, never even seen an NFT drop. These can mostly be crafted within the game though. I did buy this Lonely Night title as kind of a funny little thing for me to have since I played this game alone for so long. And those are the only things I own. Now, these are all you would need to own to earn in this game is one of these hourglasses. And they do give you this little one here. I didn't earn any when I tried to use it. It's very, very low luck. You can see this free muted cracked hourglass only has 10%, 10 luck on getting big time tokens, while this one I bought has 92 luck. And this is a regular common one. This cost me, it had 4 hours, a little over 4 hours of gameplay on it, and it cost me about $24. I've earned 11 tokens with it so far, but they can be recharged, the ones that you buy. So even one with no time is worth roughly about $15 on the market. So in those 4 hours of gameplay using this, if I earn 22 tokens and they're about 50 cents, then I will have earned about that $10 difference in the $15 to $24 that I paid for the hourglass. Now, if I get lucky and I earn more tokens or it helps me find anything else, then I might be able to do that. Now, one of the other things in this game is space. Now, what is space? Space is your own little portal. So I'm going to go into mine. Now, I haven't bought a space yet because I haven't invested heavily into this game. I am planning on doing some investments, and I'll tell you my plans and what I'm going to do so that if you are interested, you can. In your space, you get a gem crafter. He will let you craft gems that you can put into your weapons. So this is very helpful. He can help you move and add gems to your weapons. As you see here, I have gems right now. I've been doing the last move as a fire move, but maybe I want to, do this. I can change those around, but it's going to cost me a little bit of gold. I'm not actually going to do that because I was just showing you, but that's what that can do. You also get a little stash. You can fill this up with items. As you can see, mine is filled up with a decent amount of items. Now, I'm going to go over your regular inventory. So your regular inventory, you get 2 bag slots. As you can see, I have kind of bigger bags now with 13 spots. In the beginning, you won't have any. You'll just have this basic inventory. And you can see it plays like a regular MMO fantasy game. You have your regular equipment. These equipments have regular stats, health, wisdom, vitality, all things that if you played any kind of these games, you could be used to. Now, as you can see, even though I have no NFTs in the game, and you saw my NFT inventory was very, very poor, you can see that I am pretty much decked out in a decent amount of okay gear, and the NFT gear does not actually make this gear any stronger. The NFTs in this game are not going to make you a lot stronger. Now, unique armors, these are rarer in the game. These do make you stronger, but anybody can find these. As you can see, I'm wearing one. They usually come with a special ability. These pants let you dash across the map. I just don't wear them because they're kind of low level at this point for me. But, that's just something to talk about here. Now, your pocket watches are kind of a very interesting thing. They've changed when it comes to the classes. As you can see, I am using a deliberated Evermore Cadets Quantum Fixer pocket watch that has a T2 on it. That means it's a tier 2 pocket watch. Down here I have some tier 4s. I even have a tier 4 mythic. I have another tier 4 here, another tier 4 here. I have some tier 3s and tier 4s here. But if I want to put any of these pocket watches on, it's going to drop me from 33 to level 1. So when you level up pocket watches, you're leveling up the class and that pocket watch. To give you kind of an idea of the difference between the watches, this one has 10 strength, 27 dexterity, 18 vitality, 38 wisdom. Whereas this one, which is also a Quantum Fixer watch, has 69 strength, 10 dexterity, 42 intelligence, 60 vitality, 25 wisdom, and 43 agility. They also will have different abilities. As you can see, this one has a special ability called Rend. So it gives you the Rend ability that the other watch doesn't have, but then gives you kind of the same ones. I found a new Quantum Fixer watch today. This one actually gives me Summon Decoy and Magical Gate, along with the other abilities that I already have. But the way the game plays is, in the beginning, you need to use a tier 1 watch or a tier 2 watch. Then as you've leveled up one character to 33, this gives me this rank of 33 right up here. Now I can start to wear these watches that require a rank of at least 20 or 30. So I could wear a watch that would make my character stronger, but it's kind of like almost doing a prestige. Like my character would now be at level 1 again. I'd have to start leveling up again. I'd have to put all my gear that I like into my space and let it sit there and then level myself up. So, and the funny thing is I'd still be the same class in this case. Or if I leveled this watch, this is a Shadow Blade watch. This is a Quantum Fixer watch. This one's a Time Warrior. This is if I wanted to play the Warrior class. This one is Quantum Fixer. This one over here is a Chronomancer. He's one of the mages. So as you can see, eventually, if you played this game for a long time, the goal would be to have all high-level watches of every class, and then whatever class your group that you played with needed, you could switch into. That would require you to have lots of different armor and different weapons and maybe stop by your space, but that would be something that you could do. Overall, the game is pretty good. It is a tiny bit repetitive at this point. We are in the preseason. You did see that I kind of showed you me picking on some level 7 spiders and smashing them. Well, when I go into a level 30 dungeon, I run into the same spiders sometimes. When I run into the, there's only like a couple different types of monsters you currently fight. There's spiders, there's robots, there's probably a couple that I'm forgetting, but I'm not going to go to. Oh, dinosaurs. There's dinosaurs and kind of sand people is my best expression. Now, these are dungeon portals. Dungeon portals are a very interesting thing. You can see this portal, I have to have at least 2 NFTs equipped, and I need to pay a certain amount of crystals. These are prestige portals. Prestige portals have a higher chance of finding not only big time tokens, but NFTs and the other kind of currencies within the game. Now, I didn't go over these too closely, but these are all the different currencies within the game. There's big time tokens, time crystals, augmented brush lattices, augmented terra cores, brush lattices, and terra cores. Basically, you farm these throughout the game, and they are used to craft items within the game. How can you craft items? Well, this is where we're going to go ahead and bring over the marketplace for a second so we can go look at some of the different NFTs. Now, as you can see, there are armor NFTs, there's decoration NFTs, there's even emote NFTs, so that you can have extra emotes. You would buy them and then your character could do these funny emotes within the game and other people cannot. There are footstep NFTs to change the way that you walk or some of the things that you can do, or footsteps that you leave when you tromp around within the game. They have some very, very interesting ones. These mystery boxes, I'm not going to get into right now. If you guys want me to do a deep dive on the NFTs in the marketplace, we can. But the main things I will show you here, there are armories. Armories attached to your spaces. But to have an armory attached to your space, and as you can see, look, right here, Blazing Forge is only $23. Yes, the legendary ones are quite a lot more expensive. And they vary and they go, but you have to start with a space. So when we're looking at the spaces, this is something that you need to remember. These are limited in amounts, and I'm going to go ahead actually, because let's go ahead and go to the lobby for a sec. My video card isn't loving what I'm doing right now, so it's getting a little loud, and I don't want that to interrupt this part of the video going over the marketplace. Whatever space you decide to invest in, you can those will cap the rarity of the things that you can put in them. So if you want to put something into a space, you need to have the same rarity or higher, the same rarity space as the item you want to put in. So if you want to get yourself an epic armory, you have to get at least an epic small space. Now, something you should note, when you attach spaces into your system, the different amounts of spaces have different sized doors and will fit different things and amounts of things. Like if you buy, the reason why this one is about a little bit less than half of this one, I believe, I'm going to double check this, but I believe this is like one door, like you can put one item in a small, maybe two, like armories or other things, and this one is 3 and this one is like 4. We could check the wiki, but I don't think it's super important. If you got this far into the video, make sure you do your research before you buy any of these things. Sorry, I forgot to double check on these, but as you can see, there are all different levels. What do spaces do for you besides allow you to buy something else? They randomly create cracked hourglasses. When you get a cracked hourglass, it'll let you use it a little bit within the game to go farm some of the items that you need, time crystals and big time tokens for crafting, and it will let you destroy those hourglasses to get big time tokens. Then you can go ahead and do it, more crafting. Now, some of the things I would say that I have found out about this game that are a little bit of a bummer. If you really want to get into the game, it's tough. It's kind of expensive. You saw the prices on the spaces being pretty expensive. If you want to be able to craft hourglasses, you need a time warden. This is something I've been looking to get. When I was first looking to get them, they were about $600 and I want to say $40. Now they're $680. This is down from when they were about $720 recently. But it's kind of interesting because if I wanted a rare time warden, I'm at $950 or I'm at $780 for an uncommon epics. But then if I buy one of these, like if I want an epic time warden, I have to go ahead and put it down. And if you're confused here at all why this rare is $694 and this box right here is $9,800, it's because this uncommon time warden mystery box actually has 3 time wardens in it of legendary value or higher. And there is one one level even higher than this exotic that nobody is even trying to sell. So if you got unlucky on this, you would get 3 legendaries. If you got lucky on this, you'd get a mythic and 2 legendaries, or an exalted in a mythic and a legendaries. And so now you're getting closer to this price. If you got extremely lucky, you'd get an exotic, an exalted, a mythic, and a legendary. And if you got overly super lucky, you'd get the one that nobody is even selling. And then that one, people guesstimate it's worth like $100,000. I don't know. But nonetheless, the market is healthy here. People are buying. And then one of the other things we should touch on, there are rentals. So one of the big things as a Splinterlands player, and most of you know, is that we do have a good rental market. Well, the Open Loose system does have rental systems. You even have people who will rent you entire bundles. You can rent hourglasses, you can rent spaces, you can rent time wardens. You can do all of this stuff with a rental. One of the things that you will note, though, you can connect your socials, you can put money into the game. I put money into the game from Solana. That you can deposit USDC. They don't take any fee on this side, so I deposited $40. I got exactly $40. I bought a Time Warden and a NFT title. I mean, not a Time Warden. I bought a Hourglass, and then I got into the game. So, I'll just end this with like, what are my overall feelings of Big Time? It's in its preseason, so I want to give it a bit of time to grow and become better. They could use some additional monsters put into the game so that when you went from one zone to another, it wasn't so repetitive and you weren't fighting the same thing, or at least put some different colors on them or some slight variations to them as you get into the higher levels. But I'm not going to knock them too much for that. There is a good variety of the monsters. It's just I'm pretty much always fighting the sand people, the robots, or the spiders. And hopefully, there are dinosaurs too, though. But the dinos are kind of rare. They're kind of like just bosses. And the robots go from being quite simple and stupid to giant colossals. So it's not like it's just one robot. There's 20 different types of robots. But still, once I've leveled up to 30, and I'm like, when am I going to fight some other things? So the guys who are 60 or 70 and way further into this game than me are way ahead. The other thing is, if you come and you play this game all by yourself, it's going to be quite frustrating. I was getting ready to not play anymore. When I turned to Twitch, I realized that an old Splinterlands player, Downtown Detail, was now playing this game. He was streaming it. He got me into a Discord called the Fam Discord. They are an open Discord where you can go and you can meet with people and you can play with them. Now I'm playing with him quite often and some of his different friends and some of the different streamers out there. I've been able to run dungeons that are full because Big Time is meant to be a social game. The dungeons pay out the best if you're playing with other people when you play. Your drops are the best. Your chances to get more tokens are the best. But at the same time, their party making system is kind of poor. Their chat system needs some things to be designed. They don't have a friends list yet. And when you jump into a server, while you have an idea of the amount of people who might be in it, you don't know their levels. You don't know if they speak English or not. Given, hopefully, in the U.S. servers, you'd expect English speakers in there, but I've run into quite a lot of Spanish speakers who are playing the game, and then I get into their parties and we can't talk. There isn't really an in-game audio chat feature at this point either. So, that's where having a Discord where you can get into a good audio chat, joining some kind of guild is kind of necessary. At least if you want to play the game for the upper levels. If you want to just get a code, come try the game, play the game, see if it's interested, you could definitely play solo with any of the classes for the first 5 to 10 levels before things start to get kind of difficult. Why is it such a bummer to play alone? Because when you join a dungeon, if your whole party dies, they kick you out of the dungeon. So imagine paying to go into one of the paid dungeon. You're not paying attention, and one of the mobs that explodes sneaks up behind you, explodes on you, kills you, because that has happened to me before, and then I'm just booted straight out of the dungeon. Or Whereas if you're playing with a party and there's 3 or 4 of you around and one of you accidentally gets killed by one of the monsters, you can get brought back to life and continue through the dungeon, and you don't have a big loss. That's one of the most important things that's going on. But to boot, you're not gonna. I never found any big time tokens until just 2 days ago when I played with my Hourglass with 6 other people. We ran through 3 different dungeons and I got 11 tokens. And all of a sudden, I went from never playing and earning in this game to actually playing and earning in the game. Now, it did take me making an investment in buying an Hourglass, but it made me finally start to see that maybe this could happen. At the same time, the NFT drops are exceedingly rare. I haven't got one. Downtown Detail didn't get one to my knowledge. I don't know if Captain has got one. He's another guy I play with. But at the same time, the guys who are playing in big groups at the highest level have found some very rare NFTs, and it's allowed them to go forward. But if you can't find them, and you're willing to make a little bit of investment into space and armories, you can start to make them. So there's a lot of things here. The other thing I will note is they have a very well made circular economy. And what I mean by that is as you play the game, you can earn items that you can then use to create items within the game. But then you need hourglasses to be able to really find those items. Like, can you find a big time totem without an hourglass, or an NFT without an hourglass? They say you can, but I leveled up to 33 and never found any of them. I bought an hourglass, equipped it, and on my first dungeon I got big time tokens. I still never found an NFT, but I've only been playing for like 2 nights with an hourglass with time on it. So that seems to be necessary. But that means I'd have to be buying hourglasses constantly because they only come with 3, 4, 5 hours of game time on the secondary market. You can craft some that have days worth of game time, and that's pretty good. But if I want to do that, I have to have time orders. Then I need to have the gear to use them. Well, one of the things to craft, one of the things that's kind of a bummer at this point too is when it comes to the amount of time crystals you earn within the game and the amount of the other kind of items that you need for crafting, they are very, very, very low. Like, I've been playing the games for 30 levels. I've had chances to find those items both in groups, big groups and small groups, and I don't have near enough to do anything. I only have farmed about 150 time crystals. You saw even that low level dungeon I wanted to go in was asking me for like 100, like 240. So I didn't even have enough to go into that one. So you have to invest into the game to be able to even run those good dungeons or do any of the crafting, because you're going to have to buy basically from big time these items. Now this does mean that once you bring money into the game, getting money out of the game might be kind of difficult, because if you're going to want to continually craft, continually do things, continually spend all the tokens that you earn, it's all going to stay within the ecosystem. Now that, though, could mean that you're not going to see the massive dumps of big time, and when this game is fully open and operable, and everyone can come in and play it without these invite codes you have to get your hands on right now, could the rarity of that token as people want to craft the items within the game become very, very important. And just touching, why do you want any of those NFTs? Because I said they didn't make you stronger, is they let you go into certain dungeons. So that's earning opportunity. It's like an access pass within the game to the better dungeons. There are always dungeons within the game at every level that you can play with nothing. So you don't have to have them, but it is something that you need if you want to earn a lot. Now, this video kind of was a little bit all over the place. It's a little bit longer, but it's my first time talking to you about this game. So I just kind of wanted to get across how I've been feeling about it, and hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to see more big time stuff, if you want to see gameplay, if you want to see me doing this live, let me know what you think. It is fun to play. I am having a good time with it, and I hope all of you, think about, looking a little bit more into this. Thanks, guys. Bye.